Today we're going to be testing out a new keto rice replacement. If you're sick of cauliflower rice on keto, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to introduce you to a new vegetable today, Daikon radish. And this one is a bit wiggly. I don't know why. This one is not that bad, but they're I don't know. When Sarah got these from the grocery store, I was like, what are we supposed to do with this? So if you didn't know, it's a radish, and we have used this in the past on our channel because we used it to make keto scalloped potatoes, and they tasted amazing. But we have never tried this as a rice, and I thought we should definitely try this today. It's got like a mind of its own. Okay. Daikon radishes.
Do you want the wiggly one, or do you want
Okay. Daikon radishes are a type of radish characterized by their large size and white flesh. They are commonly used in Asian cuisine, particularly Japanese, Korean, and Chinese dishes. Daikon radishes have a mild, slightly sweet flavor and can be eaten raw, cooked, or pickled. 100 grams of daikon has about 4.1 grams of total carbohydrates, 1.6 grams of fiber, so it has about 2.5 grams of net carbs per 100 grams. It has a very high water content, about 94.6 grams, making it very hydrating. We thought that we would just give this a go today, and the person that made the recipe that I kind of saw, she wasn't using it in the same way that we're gonna be using it, but she did say that it does contain so much water in it that you have to drain it. You probably have not seen our cauliflower rice video where we do something called the dry cook method. So when we cook cauliflower rice, we really dry it out in a dry pan to really get that excess moisture out of there, because that excess moisture can kind of contain the smell of cauliflower. And so when you dry it out, it just takes that smell and taste away, and it just leaves a blank slate for whatever type of flavors that you want to put in it. Radishes do tend to have like a bitter flavor. Sarah and I make a really, really good Spanish cauliflower rice. So I think that that flavor combination and like the bold flavors of a really good Spanish style rice would be good with this daikon, because it's gonna help cover that up. So, am I distracting you? This is what people do to keep people watching. I'll just have one in every video from now on so you guys don't click away. We've never actually broken down a daikon like this before. We need to get these into small granules like rice. We have a food processor, and I thought that Sarah lost the blade that would do it, like the grater, but Sarah found it. And so we're gonna be using that. I don't know if it's gonna work out well. This is a test. We are the Keto Twins Test Kitchen. And if you like our vibes, please subscribe. Join our weirdo tribe. So first off, we're going to peel this baby. There's no non-awkward way to do this. I excel at this kind of stuff though.
what, making everything awkward?
Yeah. Imagine what our channel would be if we were normal.
You're really getting it down. Like, we're gonna have anything left? I mean, you're taking everything
I don't know,
off.
just some parts seem darker, and I went a little overboard.
Those could be noodles. I wonder
Yeah,
how.
but
Do you want to see if it fits in the hole?
I mean,
That looks
I could
nicely.
just go like that. I mean,
Yeah, that looks great. So this is our food processor. We've never used this attachment before, so we're gonna maybe try it out. Just pulse it. Don't press all the way down, because you're gonna.
Well, those look big.
Look how small some pieces are. I think that's a good thing. You want.
But it's really long. Long grain rice. That's a new thing.
If you cook it too small, it's gonna literally be nothingness. Okay. So if it's 90% water and you're cooking all the moisture out of it, what will be left? Because if you want to go over it with a knife and chop it a little bit more, you can. But I think it's gonna be fine. You're literally, if you're going to dry cook it, it's gonna literally be nothing.
So I have my doubts. That looks like hash browns, not rice.
I think it's gonna cook down.
I just don't like it. I don't want it to be shreds. I want it to be riced. So I think that this is gonna do the job swimmingly. It's wetter than I expected, which is not surprising, I guess. Cauliflower definitely seems drier than radish, because radish, like I said, is 90-something% water. So we are gonna be doing the dry cook method on this to try to get all of that moisture out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just dump this into a pan and then to start cooking it with nothing in the pan to see if I can draw out most of that moisture. I might even put a little bit of salt on top to try to get a lot of the moisture out of it. All right, we're just gonna kind of spread it out as much as possible. A little bit of salt, try to get some of that moisture out of there. So a test to see if it's dry enough is when you pull it back, do you see water kind of still in there? If you do, which we see it, continue to cook it until you no longer see it. We're just gonna keep cooking this. It's been about 10 minutes so far. it still has a while to go. There's little brown specks starting to form here, and so I'm not really seeing much moisture left, so I think we're good. This has been cooking for about 15 minutes on medium heat, so it takes quite a while. I'm sure that if we would have drained the liquid out with a nut bag or like on a towel, like it would have been drier, but we just like doing it this way. So now that our daikon rice is dry, we are gonna actually start adding back in liquid now. And the way we like to do this is to add liquid in that has flavor in it. So what you can do is make a slurry. That's what we call it. I think that is actually the term for it. We took a couple tablespoons of water, added in about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I think it's better than bouillon. It has 2 net carbs in it, but it really adds a ton of flavor, and we really don't mind trace amounts of sugar because we're relaxed. So in a traditional Spanish rice, you would add diced tomato, and that has a ton of liquid in it, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna be using tomato paste. So I'm gonna add about a tablespoon into the better than bouillon with the water, and then I'm gonna add in some spices into the slurry too. Garlic and cumin, about a teaspoon of each. You're gonna wanna add salt to taste. We're gonna be adding parsley because we ordered cilantro and they gave us parsley, but guess what? Add whatever you feel you want to eat in this recipe. It doesn't look appetizing, but trust me, it is super flavorful.
Smells good already.
Yeah.
Get it nice and incorporated.
A little bit of salt, some pepper. I'm gonna let the flavors absorb just a little bit more. We're gonna add in and fold in some parsley. You could do cilantro. We're gonna top it with some green onions, and then we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna try it.
I just smell the lime at this point that we put on there.
I will say that it looks more like shreds than it does rice, but at this point, like, who cares? It's still got a little bit of a crunch to it.
I like it. Different than cauliflower rice, which turns pretty mushy, I would say.
I'm not really even tasting the daikon though, so cooking it for that long did help with removing a lot of that radish flavor.
It didn't shrink as much as I thought it was going to. And maybe you could have even cooked it longer because it is kind of still a little moist.
I like it though, it's tasty. It's really good.
The flavors here are really nice.
Be great like with enchiladas or something next to it.
A taco. I think that radishes can be very like spicy, and I'm not getting that here. Even though it probably would go well with this type of dish because of the spice.
I really, really like it. I think that if you want something different than cauliflower, give this a try. It's not gonna save you that many carbs. I think it's pretty negligible, the difference. I think that this might have a little bit less carbs in it than cauliflower.
Right.
But if you're looking to change up texture, taste, stuff like that, then maybe give this a shot, because at the same time, look at that giant thing that we started out with. I think we have maybe one more serving of this size upstairs. We tried to keep it to about like 1 cup finished rice for each of us. So it made about 3 cups in the end of it, because it cooks down and it really does like shrink in volume. I think that daikon is an underutilized vegetable. It would be fun to kind of explore this vegetable more and use it for something other than just like chunks of potato in a recipe, because I think that there's lots of potential here, but I'm just not sure, because we like to test recipes because we really don't know how we don't know how like the science behind something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. I'm glad this worked out. I think that we were kind of nervous because we weren't sure if it was going to be a good substitute, but it's definitely a different texture than cauliflower.
Right.
But not in a bad way, in like a crunchy way.
It's good. So this definitely surprised me in a good way. And you know what else surprises me in a good way these days is a lot of the egg recipes that are coming out on YouTube. We did a video where we covered like the 5 egg recipes that really surprised us because it didn't even taste like eggs by the end of the recipe. If you want to see those recipes, click on this video right here and we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.